things such as personal mentorship, such as personal growth mentorship, and career mentorship, where you would call your mentor directly and say, I'm struggling with this and that. How does it work in the business environment, and how common is it in business?
I think as we have been progressing as a people, it's starting to grow, because there are a lot of companies coming up with this as an initiative to say, why are businesses failing? Why are people unable to go past the first 3 years? And with that, who is there who can help other people who have started businesses move from where they are into a bigger organization? I don't think anybody starts a business and wants to end up as a small enterprise. We all want to grow, but how do we grow? Who do I look to? So if there's somebody available who you can call, somebody who you can say, okay, this is what I've done, this is where I want to go, help me make every step. Then mentorship becomes the tool through which our SMEs can actually become big corporations. I'm looking forward to a time where in Botswana we can be having the big, the apples being in Botswana, something like that.
That's incredible. And I'm drawn now to bring it to the Botswana case, especially looking at the fact that, we live in a very diverse world, especially the business environment. It keeps changing over time. And like you say, mentorship is very important in this regard to also ensure that, SMMEs are strengthened and they don't find themselves now wanting to give up because they would have tried everything according to them, but nothing would be working in that regard. How can startups be strengthened, especially in Botswana, to keep up with the changing business environment and just changing, dynamics as we see them?
I think there are a lot of ways that can be done. First is trainings. As a business person, the fallback is to just do what you do. If you start work at 8, go to work at 8, 5, you knock off and go about your life. But training is important. You need to be upskilling all the time. There are things, like I'm saying, that are not taught in school. For example, leadership. There are aspects of leadership which you need to get from somebody who has led, somebody who has walked the path. There are things like personal development. When I went to school, there was nothing about personal development. So for me to become a resilient entrepreneur, I need to develop my capacity as a person so that I'm able to handle that bigger responsibility. If I'm working in the same environment, seeing the same people, doing the same thing, nothing happens in terms of growth. But when I go and meet other people through interactions and through summits like these, then you are able to see that, oh, actually I can do this. I can implement this in my organization. Oh, there's actually someone who can show me how to get funding. There's someone who can show me how to get even an employee, because sometimes you're getting there and you employ a person after a person. For me, I think these are things that have happened to me personally, where there's a high return of employees and you don't even know where to go. But then once you realize there's actually HR people, they're there. But you're sitting there in your small cocoon, you don't know who to go to, you don't know who to ask. You end up saying, no, this doesn't work. And then there's the stress that comes with that, there's the stress. So if you are unable to go past that stress, you end up just thinking, you know what, if I go to my usual 8 to 5 job, I'm set.
I totally hear you. We've had, a report speaking about initiatives that we've had access to, especially as SMMEs in Botswana, the likes of your AGOA, your AFCFTAs, and it seems that there's a low uptake in that. Some reasons that were attributed to this fact would be lack of knowledge or lack of access and all of these things. I'm drawn to asking you if we're branching out enough as SMMEs in Botswana. Are we confident enough to actually, compete in the global arena, if you will? Are we doing that enough? And if we're not, what can be done to actually help SMMEs boldly, face the competitive environment, especially outside?
The confidence, like I'm saying, comes from first believing in yourself. As an entrepreneur, if you are not able to go past, I'm working in my 4 square meters, then you cannot go outside of that. Because before I did think of going out of Botswana, have I even gone outside of Gaborone?
Yeah.
Yes. So it is that which we need as entrepreneurs to be strengthened in the way we think. Remember, I'm a Christian. The Bible says, as a man thinks, so is he.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking this is enough, you know, I will rotate in the same space. So we need a mindset shift. We need the growth mindset. We need to be able to also embrace new endeavors. A lot of things that stop us as entrepreneurs is that we think we know it all.
Yeah.
We should be learning, we should be willing to learn. And when there are platforms to learn, a lot of people think, oh, if I spend 1,000 pull-up for this, how does it benefit me? Because, you know, some things don't have monetary value to them. It's only after you've gone through them that you realize, oh, actually from this time, I shifted in the way I think, you know. But because we are content in being where we are, we've never explored anything else, we haven't found value in self-progression, we keep in that same circle and we are not developing. I think we are in a time where we should be grabbing any form of knowledge that comes our way. I actually thought it was sad when someone said to me, if you want to hide anything from an African, put it in a book. Really?
Yeah.
We should just read.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can't read, go talk to somebody. If you can't talk to somebody, I don't know, then find a way of being stepping forward in any way that you can. Because if I know the same things I know from when I'm a little girl, you know, nothing will change about me.
Yeah.
I need different aspects of what life is about, you know. I believe I'm a different person today because of interactions with different people. There are people who have mentored me, there are people who've walked with me, and I think for me, it's also not them coming. I've had to go and ask, I don't know how to do this, please teach me, you know. So I think we need, as a people, to be curious as well, ask questions. Because, you know, sometimes we are just told something, oh, you need to grow. And you go home thinking, I need to grow, I need to grow, I need to grow. How do I grow?
Yeah.
Ask that person who's saying you need to grow. I want to grow. How do I do it? Yes. So let's be people who can question and interrogate issues so that we are able to move forward.
And we see Empower Success Solutions now coming up with the summit that is also meant to help SMMEs in that regard. The summit, we're told, is actually meant to help businesses effectively navigate business dynamics, right? Tell us about the upcoming summit and, you know, what do businesses actually stand to benefit? You're talking now about, you know, how some things cannot be valued monetarily. Just break it down to us to say what exactly does the summit, you know, contain? The summit is a platform for us to learn, first of all. We have invited speakers who are seasoned business people who started as small entrepreneurs but have grown to establish bigger things. And these are not foreign people. You know, when we talk about maybe someone who's in the US, it becomes unrelatable. But if it's an African child like me, you start thinking, oh, it's actually possible. You actually can see how they moved from this stage to that stage. So the benefits of our summit, first of all, is we are going to learn. What are we going to learn about? Leadership. How do I lead myself? How do I lead other people? How do I act as a leader? Because there are characteristics of a leader. You cannot just be doing things anyhow and then be called a leader. A leader is a leader, and they take responsibility. We are going to learn about how to navigate the digital environment, how to stay relevant, because as time goes and these days things change, and if you're stuck in doing your old ways, you may not be sustainable. So we are going to get handles on how we can continue be upskilling and also growing our enterprises. We also have things like personal development, handles on how you can develop yourself so that you become that person that's got the bigger capacity. How can you shift your mindset? How do you deal with stress?
How do you deal with, how do you take care of yourself before you take care of your business?
Right.
For me personally, I believe if you cannot take care of yourself, you can't take care of anything else, because you are the vessel that is used to do whatever else. And our theme is we want everyone to be innovative, we want to collaborate, we want to elevate. Innovation means we want to come up with new ideas. After this summit, we expect that everyone who has attended it, they have a light bulb moment and say, oh, so this is the new thing I can do in my business. We want to form partnerships, collaborations, because there's going to be different people. All those 8 speakers are different business people in different environments.
Yeah.
So we should be able to say, okay, if I need this, I can go to this person. If I need this, I can go to this person. And even the delegates themselves, these are business people, these are professionals, and they are people who we can benefit from. So we want to forge alliances, because when we work together, we are better. Yes.
Absolutely.
So we want also to elevate our businesses. If I was operating at 20, I should be at 30 at least. Yes. We want to promote growth. We are tired of just being there, doing the usual thing day in, day out. We need to be different. And we need to also start looking at how can I go beyond. If I've got 1 branch, how can I have 2? How can I have 3? What systems do I put in place? Because systems thinking is something that we need as entrepreneurs.
Right.
You cannot keep doing everything by yourself, because if you do that, you are going to run out of steam. At some point, you have to put a system in place that works whether you're there or not. Yes.
Somebody said recently that people think they're entrepreneurs when in actual fact they're self-employed,
Yes.
because they don't have actual systems that would allow their enterprises to run without them being there.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very important summit to attend. And who can attend? You were speaking about delegates and everybody else, speakers and all of these people. Who is actually this summit targeted for?
It's targeted to anybody who's in business. You can be the entrepreneur, the business owner. You can be the manager. Remember, we are not looking at, we want to empower just the one who owns the business. But I may have a manager. That person needs to also be able to think big. We want everyone who's in a position of influence in their organization.
Yeah.
It can be a professional. Like I said, I'm a physiotherapist. I've got a practice. I need also to know that I can grow my practice from just being a 1-room little bed to something bigger that can serve more people. How do I do that? It can be a lawyer. How do they increase their capacity in their firm? It can be anybody really who wants to grow. And it can be somebody who's thinking, okay, I want to start up. We actually have a speaker who supports startups, and she will give you like step-by-step processes, what you need to do, what needs to be in place, and things like that.
Right.
So if you're sitting at home and thinking, okay, I want to start a business, this is for you as well.
Absolutely. For somebody who would like further interaction with you, maybe who would like to also be a part of the summit, where are you on social media, and when is the summit happening?
The summit is on Friday and Saturday this week. It's at Sanitas, and we are on Facebook. We are on Instagram as well as Empower Success Solutions. If you just search for that, you'll find us. And you can actually even call. Yes.
Incredible.
You can call
Yeah.
to get in touch with us.
Absolutely. Pauline, let me take this time to thank you so much for joining me this morning to talk to us about this very, very important event. We definitely hope to hear from you, about what would have transpired and what some of the low-hanging fruits are from the summit.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And this is what we leave it for now. We're in conversation this morning with the CEO of Empower Success Solutions, Mayor Pauline Kusuwo Mashatini, talking about their upcoming summit that is meant to empower SMMEs and ensure that they are confident enough to grow in that space. I'm sure that you got a thing or two from their conversation. Coming up at the top of the hour is news. Stick with us.
We're gathered here to celebrate not just the opening of a new shopping mall, but the birth of a new hub of commerce, community, culture in our district. Indeed, Oasis Mall represents a significant milestone in our journey towards enhancing the infrastructure and economic landscape of our beloved district. Let me hasten first and foremost to acknowledge the vision and the dedication of Mr. Mehan Mooney and his team. What amazes me is the fact that this is a self-funded project amounting to 140 million, as I'm advised. This move by overseas development enterprises is indeed worthy of celebrating. The group's unwavering commitment and teamwork to creating a vibrant and accessible shopping destination is evident in every corner of this magnificent establishment. Your efforts and hard work have brought to life a space that will serve as a cornerstone for our community, fostering both economic growth and social engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, the opening of Oasis Mall comes at a time when this district and surrounding areas, including Gaborone areas, are experiencing rapid growth and development. As the Member of Parliament for Tlogweng, I cannot overemphasize the importance of such developments in enhancing our district's infrastructure and connectivity. I may in fact add that I'm quite convinced that Tlogweng now presents as the best destination for investment. So we hope to see for more. And our development, I think, will be very much private sector led.